So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back for another YouTube video. So guys, if you haven't already seen from today's title, I'm bringing you another exciting video, and that video is going to be my designer shoe collection. I'm basically just going to be showing you and talking you guys through my sort of whole designer collection of shoes that I have, mainly trainers, some slides, that sort of thing. So I did actually do a designer sort of haul unboxing type little video, which was literally one of my first videos that I ever did. Honestly, looking back on that now, I feel like I've come a long way since then. So I sort of wanted to do an sort of updated version of sort of my shoes, and just sort of show you guys sort of the designer items that I have. I just felt like I really wanted to do this video for you guys. I feel like a lot of you guys always message me on Instagram sort of asking me what I think about like sort of the Balenciaga Triple S, the Track, sort of what I would prefer, what I would recommend, is it worth your money? Because I do know it is a big purchase to make, and obviously you want to make the right decision. So hopefully this video will give you a little insight into sort of making the right decision, sort of the pros and cons of each one that I've bought, what I think of them, also the best places to purchase them. So yeah, let's get on with the video. So guys, the first designer pair of shoes I'm going to be talking to you about is the Balenciaga Triple S. Now I feel like this is a lot of people own the Balenciaga Triple S. I actually purchased these, I think, in March of 2019. So yes, I've had them just over a year. So yeah, March of 2019 I purchased the Balenciaga Triple S. Now this was probably the first major sort of designer purchase that I had made. Honestly, I've loved these trainers for years, like honestly since I first sort of got into Instagram sort of blogging. They've just been such a goal item for me to have, and I was super happy that I could finally pick them up. I'm going to talk you guys through what I think of the Balenciaga Triple S. This box is a little bit battered, sorry guys. So I purchased these from the Selfridges concession in London, like I said, in March 2019. They're super helpful there. They're really nice, and yeah, I generally prefer going to Selfridges than going to sort of Harrods. I find it a lot easier to shop in. I also would rather sort of see it in person. I like to sort of make a day of it. So like if I'm thinking of buying a big designer purchase, I would rather sort of go and like have like a nice lunch, like buy it and then walk around with my little bag, than just order it online. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but I like to just sort of make more of a special occasion for it, sort of like a treat yourself day. Here they are. So I've had these for well over a year now, like literally, is it going to focus? Yes, I've had these for well over a year now, and they're looking still pretty much brand new, if you guys can see. So I think out of all of my trainers, I probably do wear these the most, simply because of the colourway. So they basically have a white, grey and cream and just sort of like a yellowy almost colourway, and this was my favourite, even though it's sort of the most basic one that a lot of people have. This just was my favourite simply because it just goes with absolutely everything. Like you can dress them up, you can dress them down, they go with casual, they go with dressy. They're just such an amazing shoe. You can wear them in summer and winter as well, which I really like, although not so much in winter just because they are sort of a light colour, but I do still wear them in winter and just try not to get them dirty. So I picked these up in a size UK 39, which is a UK 6. Now that is a size down from my regular size. I'm normally a UK size 7, so if you are going to order these shoes, or if you're thinking sort of what size to buy, I would definitely recommend sizing down, because they come up pretty big. Like they're very chunky, so all of this sort of like excess bit, you're just going to need to size down basically. So yeah, size down if you're thinking of getting the Balenciaga Triple S. So guys, the first question I'm going to be asking myself is, are they worth the price? So the price of the Balenciaga Triple S was, I think, $625 when I purchased them, which is, it's a lot of money. Like for a trainer, it is a lot of money. Although I do believe, yes, they were worth the money, because the cost per wear and sort of like the how they've lasted has been honestly amazing. Like they're literally just my go-to white trainer. They're honestly they just go with everything, like I said. So I do think if you are thinking of purchasing sort of a major designer item, or just sort of one piece, and you don't want to sort of buy a lot, you literally just want one thing, I would probably say to go for these, just simply because of the colourway and because they just go with everything. So like I said, the pros of this shoe would definitely be the styleability of them, the fact that you can wear them sort of for day to night. They just go with everything, like I said before. I feel like I've said that so many times, but they honestly just do. I feel like they're not really classic. Like they probably are going to go out of fashion at some point, although they have been around for quite a few years now. So I feel like they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Before I keep saying this, literally no other designer brand has brought out a trainer, a basic sort of white trainer that's going to rival these ones. I feel like the Balenciaga Triple S are around to stay for at least a bit longer. Okay, so next up is going to be the cons of the shoe, so sort of the negative points. So the only, well, I have a few criticisms. So the first one would be they are heavy. Now I like to wear quite chunky trainers anyway. I sort of had the Topshop ones before I purchased these ones, so I wore those a lot, so I sort of got used to wearing sort of chunky heavy shoes on my feet. Although if you're very used to sort of wearing sort of Converse, Vans, you're going to get a shock when you buy these because they're literally like doing a full-on workout. But you do get used to them. They've never rubbed me. They've been very, very comfortable. That is another pro. They're very, very comfortable. But they just do take a little bit of getting used to. When you're walking on them, you do feel a little bit odd at first, but you do get used to them, so it's not too bad. The other negative point I would say with these as well is just they can get dirty. Now I've kept mine pretty much in immaculate condition, but I did have a little bit of a problem with the front. So if you guys can see at the front, sort of like that, you can sort of see a little bit of dirt sort of at the front, but then you see this little bit at the I'll try and insert a picture to show you guys because it's been fixed now. But basically about 8 months after I purchased them, the glue where the sort of sole was sticking together at the front did start to peel away. So this whole little sort of rubber ridge was sort of falling off at the sides. I don't know if that's just sort of wear and tear, but Selfridges in concession in London were super helpful. They got these repaired for me straight away and they were sent back to me, so it was fine. But just something to bear in mind that that did happen to me. It probably won't happen to you, it probably won't happen to everyone. Maybe these were just sort of a faulty pair, but yeah, that was sorted out. Final negative thing I would have to say about the Triple S, it's not really a negative thing and it's not going to apply to everyone, but if you do wear fake tan, then they are going to get quite discoloured around the inside. It's on the inside, so you can't really see it. Sort of on the lip, it has gone a little bit as well. I'm sure I could wash these and it would come off fine, but it's something to bear in mind. The laces do sort of discolour as well. If you wear a lot of fake tan and a lot of makeup like I do, then it's just something to bear in mind that they may sort of start to discolour inside. Just another little tip if you guys are wondering. Overall, I definitely would recommend the Balenciaga Triple S. I feel like I said, they're super comfy, they go with everything. They're not going anywhere anytime soon in terms of trends. So yeah, definitely pick these up if you are looking to buy your sort of first designer trainer. So guys, the next pair of trainers I'm going to be talking to you guys about is another pair of Balenciaga trainers, although this time it is the Track 2 Balenciagas. So I actually purchased these, I think, in October of the same year, of 2019. I sort of got a little bug for designer shoes and honestly was just obsessed with them. So I went to Selfridges concession. I actually went into Selfridges in general and I was actually going to look at the Dior saddlebag. I was sort of umming and ahhing whether to get that for Christmas or to save up my money. And I went and saw it and I wasn't as in love with it for the price as I should have been. And then you have to buy the strap as well, and it's honestly just, it ends up being so expensive. So I actually went to the Balenciaga concession stand and it was a bit of a spur of the moment purchase, although I did not have any buyer's regret. So I saw these sitting there and it was the first sort of day that they'd been released in the UK. So the lady was like, literally, this is the first, like that morning they'd literally got them in, put them out. So it is the Track 2s. I'm not quite sure what this colourway is called. Track 2 Balenciagas, and I'm honestly obsessed with these. I wear them so much again, and what I love about these is that they do have black and beige on them, so they've sort of got the same beige tones as the Triple S, but then because they have that sort of more black, sort of darker sections, you can sort of wear them going into winter and autumn as well, a lot more than you can the Triple S, because if it's like raining or muddy, they're a bit dark, like they've got a darker sole and they've got the darker sort of inside lining, just makes it a little bit more durable for winter. So the first question would be, are they worth the money? So I think these ones were £5.95. I think they've actually gone up quite a lot in price since I purchased these. So for £5.95, again, I feel like I've definitely got the wear out of them. Probably not as much as my Triple S, just because I purchased these in October and it was pretty much raining, and then it was pretty much raining between then and March when we went into lockdown. So I feel like I've not really had like a full-on sort of, I've not like sort of worn them to their full potential, do you know what I mean? So I feel like now I can go out, I'm going to literally wear these, I'm going to live in these. So yeah, I think definitely worth the price. Well, I mean, £500 trainers, it's a lot, but I feel like they're just so unique. I think this colourway specifically is so unique as well. I love that it has the gold accent details as well. Where are they? Yeah, it's like sort of got like gold and silver sort of flecks along the bottom as well, and like this like gold panel, which I'm honestly obsessed with. So yeah, that is what I think of the price personally. I think I think this with designer trainers, I think if you're thinking about a designer trainer and you're like really honestly like loving it and you're sort of like really wanting to get it, I would say just get it, just save up and just buy it. Don't buy the cheaper alternative and don't buy something different to sort of what you want just for a cheaper price, because you are always going to end up buying the same pair anyway. This is what I've learned. So say if you want white chunky trainers and you want the Balenciaga Triple S, don't go and buy sort of like a £200 pair of another brand. So I would just wait and buy the actual Triple S that you really want, just because you probably will end up going and buy them anyway. So guys, the pros of this shoe. So like I said, they're sort of dark, they're beige and cream and white, so they honestly go with everything. But because they do have that darker sort of colour running through them, they can be sort of more worn for winter, for autumn, and they just get a lot less dirty than my Triple S. So I think this is another good point actually, they're sort of made of more of like a plasticky material than my Triple S. So they don't really get as grubby, like literally something fell on my Triple S, it's just material, it's like canvas, whereas these are literally just sort of like a white clean plastic. Second pro would be that they're extremely comfortable. I get asked this a lot, so sort of between this one and my Triple S, what's more comfortable? Definitely my Tracks. They're a lot lighter, even though they're still sort of chunky, they feel a lot lighter to wear. Like when I'm walking on them, I don't feel like I'm like waddling along. They definitely feel a lot more just generally comfortable. Another pro I would say, well, it's sort of like a pro and a con. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it has sort of like these little cutout details on the side, which is such a cool touch. I love it, because if you wear sort of different coloured socks, you can sort of see like a little gap in between. It sort of makes it harder to wear them in the rain. Obviously they are the darker colour, so you could potentially wear them. I mean, I do still wear them, but because it does have that like slight holes through them, it just makes them a little bit more exposed in the weather, which is just something to bear in mind. So I don't know if I did actually mention to you guys, but I did pick these up in a size UK 7, which is perfect. Like, this just true, they say true to size. They're a lot sort of less bulky than the Triple S. They're a lot more, even though they still look quite like they've got enough going on with them, but they don't have as much sort of going on at the back, and they don't really have as much sort of padding in the front. So stick true to size if you are going to get the Track 2s. So now for the cons of the Track 2. I'm trying to think of a bad word to sort of say about the Track 2s. I don't really know if I have one. I feel like I haven't worn these as much as my Triple S, so I can't really comment on the sort of wear and tear factor. But I mean, they've held up. They literally just look like brand new out of the box. Although I do try and keep my trainers sort of good condition anyway, keep them all in the boxes, in the dust bags, don't wear them in rain or anything like that. So I do take sort of good, very good care of them. But I feel like if you guys are a little bit more clumsy, say if you're a bit more, you don't want to take too much care, like if you're not really a very careful person, if you're a bit clumsy, then maybe go for these, just because like I said, they're a bit darker, they are sort of that more sort of like vinyl plasticky material. They're not gonna age or sort of like get ruined as quickly as the Triple S. I sort of guess another sort of downfall of them, they are maybe more of a trend shoe than the Triple S, although I feel like, I don't know because I can't really comment. In 5 years time I may think completely different. A lot of people are probably not going to like these as much as the Triple S, just because they're a bit more out there. I personally love that because I feel like they're just very different, they're very unique. A lot of people don't have this colourway and they're currently sold out as well. But yeah, I would say the Track 2s maybe are a little bit more of a trend. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But I personally love them, I'll be wearing them for years. I love the Track 2s. So guys, the next pair of trainers I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the Valentino Rockstud runner trainers, I do believe they're called. They might be like the high top runners. And I actually purchased these from Selfridges again, but I did actually get these in the sale. So I think the actual price of these is supposed to be like, I think they were originally like $580 or $500, and I only paid $240 for them, so a lot less than the original retail price. So that's sort of, it's not really why I bought them. I was on the lookout for sort of like a pinky trainer just to match my pink Prada bag, and I saw these sitting there. I thought they were just perfect, and I absolutely love these. You guys know I love a chunky trainer, like honestly I just love it. So yeah, they're the Valentino style sort of, I don't know if they're called the Rockstud runners, they might be called something else, I may be wrong, I'll link it in the description. But they're sort of like pinky beigey tones. They've got like a little khaki bit sort of on the lip. They've got sort of like pinky beige laces, they've got a black sole, and then they've got sort of like a burgundy bit at the back, so they've got quite a lot going on, and sort of like a camo sort of panel as well. So yeah, I purchased these. I haven't worn these as much sort of as my other two trainers. One, because I did purchase them more recently. I did purchase them I think in January or February sort of sale time, so literally just before lockdown I couldn't really wear them out much. And also just because of the colour. I feel like I didn't really wear sort of beige shoes, sort of like this pinky nude colour shoe as much for a while. Sort of when I had my blonde hair, I just sort of stayed away from those colours more. Although now I've got this sort of darker blonde hair, I'm absolutely loving these beige colours, so hopefully these will get a lot more wear out of them. I love these. I feel like you can just style them with a lot of things. They go with like a plain dress, and they go with like joggers, they go with jeans, they literally just go with a lot of things. I feel like a good chunky trainer just does. Are they worth the money? I don't know for me personally if they would have been worth the money at the full retail price, just because of the colour. I feel like they're just a bit harder to style, and they just, I like the fact that they're unique. I feel like a lot of people don't really have these, so I do like that factor about them. So I guess they are worth the money, although if it was sort of between these and the Tracks for $590 versus $500, I'd probably go for the Track 2s. But for the price that I paid, literally I think it was $240, or even less, I think it was at $229 or something like that. They're honestly just such a bargain. Like, it's literally sort of just more expensive than Nike trainers for Valentino trainers. So yeah, definitely for the price I paid was worth the money. So I'm going to be talking you guys through the pros of the shoe. So I would say they're very, very comfortable. They're a bit more comfortable than the Triple S, but they're not as comfortable as the Track. They are still quite heavy, just to sort of move with, but they don't have that sort of excess bit at the back and the front as Triple S do. Like, they're a lot more sort of flippery. These are a lot more sort of streamlined. And another thing that I love about these is the front of them. So it's sort of got like this little tilt, so when you walk it's really comfy to walk, because when you walk your foot sort of moves with the trainer. With the Triple S you're sort of very clumpy, whereas these you can really just, you know, move your ankle, which I love about them. I feel like another positive is that they're mainly sort of like this plastic material. They don't really have any canvas on them. This sort of material is it's sort of like suede in this like one patch. But I mean, that's actually the only really real material on the shoe. All of this is sort of like a plasticky, like rubbery sort of material, which can literally just be wiped clean. So I feel like for durability factor, it'll be really, really good. Like I said, I've not really worn them enough sort of compared to my Triple S to sort of comment on the wearability, but I will let you guys know. Another pro I feel like as well is I feel like they're just a bit more of a classic train. I feel like this style of train has been around for years. I feel like it's going to be around again for years, so I feel like it's not really as much of a trend piece sort of as the Balenciaga ones. I may be wrong, I don't know. I feel like it's just a matter of opinion. Like, I personally, like, my boyfriend likes these more than my other two, and I feel like that just shows that it's not as much of a trend item. He much prefers sort of like the Nike style, just sort of like less stuff going on with it trainers, so he definitely prefers these to my Balenciaga. So I'd probably say they're not so much of a trend item, which is quite positive, because I know I'll be keeping these for years and hopefully this should wear really, really well. So guys, the cons of the shoe. Again, I don't really have many to say. I can't really comment on the wearability factor. I would say one thing is they're a little bit hard to get on. The lip does stretch, but it's quite hard to sort of undo them enough to sort of slide your foot on. Like, my Track and my Triple S just sort of like easily glide on, whereas these are a little bit harder to put on. I mean, it's only really a problem as you're putting them on in the morning. It's not a massive deal. The other thing I would say is just sort of the colour. I think if you wear a lot of nudes and beiges, then they're perfect for you. If you wear a lot of bright colours or a lot of different colours, they may be a little bit harder for you guys to match with things, sort of compared to like a white trainer or a mainly black trainer. The only thing I will say as well with them, I don't know if it's on the other trainer, so the bottom, sort of like this black bit at the bottom, comes off very easily on the sides of the trainers. So if you're a little bit clumsy like me and you sort of walk and you like scuff your feet, it can leave sort of like black lines. So I did this sort of like, it's not really that bad, and I have done it quite a lot more and sort of rubbed it off, and it does rub off, but it's a bit annoying when you just get like a massive black streak down a trainer, and it has happened a few times. So if you are clumsy, just beware. I don't really know if there's something that I could sort of coat them in to stop them from doing that, because they're just quite sort of like a powdery black. They do just sort of leave like a line. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about them. I really, really love them. They're quite unique, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to purchase them. But yeah, any sort of Valentino trainer I feel like is super chic and it's just less of a trend piece. It's never really going to go out of fashion. So guys, the final pair of trainers I'm going to be talking to you guys about is my newest OffWhite trainers. You would have seen these in my recent Come Shopping With Me, and I love them. Oh, and I did forget to say, with those Valentino Rockstuds, I got them in a size 7, stay true to size. I think I got these in a size, they said 6 on the label, although they say 40 inside, so I'm guessing they are a 7, but they did say they were a 6. I think they're men's, so they may run a little bit big. So yeah, I honestly love these. Like, they're just super unique. Like, I'm not really seeing anyone else have these. I love the black and white on them. I feel like they're just sort of like a dupe, like they're an even better version of like the Nike Air Jordans, like the black and white ones that are super expensive and super hard to get hold of. I feel like they're just like a very good sort of alternative to those. I really wanted a high top trainer. I feel like I don't really have any in my collection. I love the way these look with like dresses, joggers, like sort of like joggers tucked into them. I think they just look super cool, and yeah, honestly obsessed with these. And like you guys would have known, these were literally £129, which is honestly just like Nike shoe price. So I can't really sort of comment on the value for money because I didn't pay the full amount. Although I do feel like even if they were sort of like up to, oh, hello to my wife and family. Does anyone else see that salute a magpie? I can see one outside my window. So yeah, I feel like even if they were a bit more, they would still be worth the money. I feel like they're just a style that's never really going to go out of fashion. Maybe like the tag and everything going on with them is a bit sort of out there for some people. A lot of you guys might not like that as much, but I feel personally that they're so cool. You can wear them again summer, winter. They're black and white, so they're not going to wear too much. They are sort of like a canvas and a sort of like a leather, I don't know if it's like a leather or pleather materials. They should wear okay. This bit might get a little bit dirty, but I do feel like they won't even look too bad sort of getting dirty. I feel like they look quite cool. So the pros of the shoe: can wear it summer and winter. They're super comfy as well. I thought they were going to be a little bit uncomfy, but I mean, I wore them once and they were fine. I mean, I've not worn them out like for a full day since, so I'll have to keep you guys updated on that one. I love the fact they have black laces as well, because it just makes it super easy to tie them and not sort of worry about having makeup on your hands, sort of ones with the white laces. And I also love the sort of little details on them, so like the little shoelace bit, this little detail, just sort of like the little pinned slogans on them. I just think they're super unique. Hardly anyone has them, and that's what I love about designer trainers. I love to find ones, I mean, I love the sort of popular styles as well, but I also love finding ones that not many people have. So yeah, the cons. I don't really know if I have any. Like I said, like I've said with quite a few, I haven't worn them out enough to sort of comment on the comfort and the sort of wear and tear of these yet. I guess the little, where they're sort of stuck on at the top, like this little bit, could fray quite easily. On this one it's sort of like frayed a little bit, but I don't know if that's just the style or if that's actually going to fray. I'm not quite sure, but we'll have to wait and see. I also feel like I just wish they were a tiny bit chunkier, although like I said, this is probably like chunky for a lot of people. I just do like my trainers to have quite a high platform, so yeah, even if they were just sort of like half an inch chunkier, maybe I would prefer them, but that's just me being really picky and really fussy. But yeah, I love these. Can't wait to style them with some more outfits very soon. So guys, the final thing I'm just going to talk you guys through, I feel like I've sort of rambled on about the trainers, but I did just want to talk you guys through the sliders that I have as well. As many of you guys will know, I do have Gucci slides and Balenciaga slides, and something I love about sliders is I feel like they're a lot more reasonably priced than, like, they're a designer item that a lot of people can afford. They were my first ever sort of designer purchase. I feel like they're a lot of other people's first ever designer purchase as well, just because you can get like Gucci slides, they were literally 180, which I think is, it's really good. They're never going to go out of fashion. So yeah, here they are. I got them in a size, I think a UK 7, to stay true to size. I think maybe I actually did size down in these. Yeah, I did size down in these just because they are men's, I think, so they did come up slightly big, slightly wide across the front. They're just sort of like that classic style Gucci logo, white sort of chunky sole. Love them. I literally wear them every summer. They're just super nice. They go with everything pretty much. So yeah, there's not really much to say. They're just sort of a classic Gucci slide. I think value for money, £180 is, it's obviously quite a lot for sliders, but for the amount you're going to wear them, and they're literally never going to go out of fashion. You can even wear them in the winter as well with just some socks, so I feel like they are definitely cost per wear, definitely worth the money. So the pros, I feel like I've already mentioned most of the pros. They're super lightweight, they're never gonna go out of fashion. They're just like sort of classic Gucci sort of style sliders. Cons, I would say they're a little bit uncomfortable. They were more uncomfortable when I first bought them than they are now. I have worn them a lot and they're not really they don't look too worn out, but yeah, when I first bought them they did rub. So this sort of section here is just rubber, so if your feet get hot, that is just going to rub away. Like literally I had blisters on the sides of my feet for ages. I had to wear them with socks. My mum even had to walk around in them for me, just sort of like loosen them up because they were so uncomfortable. So yeah, they're fine now, but just something to bear in mind, when you first buy them they are slightly uncomfortable. I guess the other sort of downfall of them as well is that they have been sort of faked a lot now. A lot of people have copied this sort of like Gucci logo. You can just sort of get fakes that are quite cheap, and I mean there's nothing really to make this any more expensive than like a pair of like Adidas sliders, other than the fact they've got the Gucci bit on them and they've got like a little logo at the back. Don't know if you guys can see. Don't know if that's going to focus. Other than that, there's literally nothing to warrant them to be £180, but like I said, that's not extortionate for a Gucci item. So guys, the final pair of slides I'm going to be talking to you guys about is my Balenciaga Slides. I got these for, I think, super cheap. They were from Flannels, which is another one of my favourite designer shops. I feel like most of my designer clothing has come from Selfridges or from Flannels. These were purchased from Flannels in the Into Watford store. And I just love the colour of these. I just think they're so unique. I just really wanted a new little pair of slides for summer, and I've worn these a lot this summer. I feel like they're just a really nice pop of colour with a neutral outfit. So were they worth the money? I think they were a present, so I don't actually know exactly how much they cost. I do know they were in the sale, I think, for around, I want to say like 150 to 200. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, again, sliders, they're never going to go out of fashion. You're going to wear them year after year. Pros of them, I feel like just because they're leather, they are a lot more comfortable than the Gucci ones. They rub a lot less, they're just a lot more comfy, and they're probably going to last me a bit longer than those Gucci ones as well, just because they're just going to wear maybe a little bit better. Although, like I said, can't really comment on the wear and tear of these because I did only get them in January. The downfall, I guess, would be, for some people, maybe the colour they're not going to go with as much. I think they are sort of an older item, an older style as well, even though Balenciaga does bring out this style of slider every year. They're just sort of an older, slightly older style, but that doesn't bother me because they literally look the same as the ones they have now. And the other downfall maybe would be it's a little bit flat. I personally sort of like my slides to be a little bit more chunky, although I do like having the variation of the Gucci ones that have got a bit more of a chunky heel to these ones which are a bit more flat and just sort of slip on. So guys, that is the end of my little designer haul video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I feel like it's just another little different style of video. Let me know in the comments if you did enjoy it, what you thought, if you did want me to do sort of any more sort of designer reviews of other brands or sort of maybe my clothing. Anything that you want to know, I will happily talk to you guys about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.